Welcome to Derek Burleson Art. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a cardinal on a piece of wood. Maybe we'll make it a winter scene. We won't do any tracing. We're going to do it freehand, see how long it takes us. So grab your paints and paint. Alright, welcome back. Today, like I said, we're going to do a little cardinal, or maybe a medium-sized cardinal, and we're going to do it on a piece of wood. I just took a piece of wood here. I drilled some cleats in the back, and to tell you the truth, it's just some cedar that I had tore off some old flower boxes, made them up. So now we're going to and then I sanded them down. They've not been primed, nothing pre-treated, they're just on wood. What we're going to do is I'm going to make some a painting on them, and then we'll on the back we'll put a wire and you can hang them. But I have several of them that I'm using that I'm going to take to a craft fair. There's one of them I done, if you can see it. That's on wood. And then we have this one on wood, little sayings on there. And I've got that one on wood. And one more here that is another cardinal that I've done on wood, two cardinals. I think that looks kind of neat, little saying on there. Well, this one today, we're going to do it just like the other cardinals, but I think we're going to put a little snow in there, a little winter scene. I think you guys will really like it. Shouldn't take us too long to do this. First thing I'm going to do to get started, and like I told you, you could take and freehand this and have it all there, but I'm not going to freehand it today. I'm just going to paint it. All I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flat brush. Let me see what size. I'm going to start out with flat brush here. My camera keeps going dark, so I have to keep turning and looking, but I'm going to just use a little flat brush here. It says it's a number 5. This is what I'm going to do just to get it going. So anyway, down here on my canvas you can see I've got some ivory black, little burnt umber. This is a cadmium red orange, I believe. Cadmium orange light or cadmium red light, alizarin crimson, and I believe that's a cadmium yellow. Don't know if I'm going to use all those. Oh, you know what I don't have is any white. Got to have white when you paint. Okay, I'm back. I had to had to go away there for a minute so I could get some white. Actually, what I had here is some gesso, which basically gesso is just kind of a thin white to me. I like gesso. When I put it on the background, it's almost like a magic white when you're dealing in oils. If you watched Bob Ross, it's kind of what the gesso is to me. You got black gesso, white gesso, clear gesso, and you can put it on the background of your canvas before you paint. Lets the paint run a little smoother. I like it. It seems like it's a little easier to work, especially when I do snow, and I do the snow technique with a toothbrush, which we're going to be doing today. You've seen in some of my other videos. I think I did rain. Today we're going to do snow. But I like the gesso. It seems to work a little bit better. Okay. Oh, and if I mentioned, this is going to be in acrylics, so it'll dry pretty quick. So I think let's get started. Let me first figure out where I want my cardinal. And I'm going to go into that alizarin crimson first. And the reason I'm doing alizarin crimson is just it's a little darker, so I like it. So now I need to figure out where I want my bird. Now, I always say start small. And then we can make it bigger. Start skinny, we can make him fatter. So I think I'm just going to start here. I'm going to kind of come down and around and down. Something like this. And see, you can see it's on wood because we got a lot of... I said we can do this cardinal in 2 strokes. If we were on a canvas, we probably could, but kind of hard to do 2 strokes there. And then I'm going to come back this way and here. And then see how I said we're going to start skinny? He's skinny. And you're like, well, you don't look much like a cardinal. But he will. Again, I'm on this wood, so it's soaking up a lot. And like I said, I'm using the darker, so I'm going to just come down here. We'll call that his tail. Well, we better call it his tail, because that's what it's going to be. Okay, just something like that. And again, you can say, that is a weird looking cardinal. He's awful skinny. But that was just 2 strokes. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make a cardinal. We'll come back in and doctor him up later. All right, so I want my cardinal a little bit fatter. So I'm going to bring him out here. And boy, I tell you, going through those little wood ridges are kind of tough. Now, see there? See how now I just come in, make him a little bit, winter's here, and we're going to make this a winter scene, so we want him to be fat, because, you know, he spent all summer here at the house eating our bird seed. We had tons of bird seed. We went through a lot of bird seed this year with our birds. He ate all my sunflowers, because there were sunflowers in there. And I've heard, and you know, you may correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that what makes cardinals, even that more brilliant reddish orange color, is sunflower seeds. Now, whether that's true, I don't know. Could be just an old wives' tale that I've gotten. So I'm going to bring out his tail a little bit more. And I don't know how far I want his tail yet, because I'm going to have him sitting on a branch. But I kind of like that. Like I said, we can shape him a little more. I think this needs to come just a little bit more like that. I like that. And then he's going to have some little whooshes out there here in a minute. But I think that's pretty good. I'm not so concerned about his legs quite yet, because I don't really know. But I mean, what do you think? You think he's big enough? Think he should be bigger? We got a little ridge of paint there, so trying to get it off there. So guess what? He's going to get a little bit bigger, just because I got that paint on there. That off there, I had too much. But we're gonna doctor him up here, so don't worry about that. He's gonna be just fine. And then these will probably come up just a little higher. But right now, this is just getting it in there. See how easy that was? Just a couple of strokes. You didn't know painting a bird could be so easy. Well, some of you may say that doesn't look like a bird or a cardinal, but you might be right. Hopefully we'll get it in there a little bit better. So now what I want to do, let me find me just a little round brush, and put me some legs in. I think I'm going to go into a little yellow. Kind of wish I'd have put some ochre on there, but I didn't. But you know what? I can probably make my own ochre. And I'm going to kind of get kind of a yellowish leg there. Not really enough. I need a little bit more. I want kind of a ochre-y looking leg. So a little yellow and brown. Depending on what you want. I don't know yet, but I'm going to kind of go, let's see, where at? About here, you think? Again, start out a little fine. Let's see, I might add a little water to it, because it's just not, it's getting stuck in the little. I think I'm just going to leave him just about like that right there for now. Let's see what we get. Okay. Let's see here. I know you may say, them some ugly looking legs. You might be right there. I'm just trying to get them kind of halfway where I want them, which is, don't really know yet. So I might just come here, down like that. I don't know, because I don't know what my limb's going to be yet. It's a little bit dry, so I'm going to add a little water. And then I'm going to kind of come here. Don't want a lot yet, because I don't know how big my limb's going to be, so I may have to readjust the legs a little bit. Excuse me. I think I got a little bit, still too much smoke. I was out just a little bit ago before I started this. We're smoking a ham for dinner. So I went out and we got it all ready, turned on, it's smoking now. And it's sitting out there. It's a big half ham. So sounds like it'd be good for dinner tonight. So that's what's for dinner is ham. And I really don't know what else. Okay. And then it kind of comes this way, but for now, we're going to do a lot of covering up. It's going to end up being bigger. I know it looks like, I was going to say bird legs, but you know, it's supposed to be bird legs. But again, when you see me paint, especially when I do like wildlife, things like that, I like to start it small, and I can always get bigger. But see, we're going to have a branch coming through here, and there's going to be some branches come off. Then there's going to be snow on top of the branch, and then we're going to have, now did you see what I did here? I ran my hand right through my paint, and it went right there. Not good. See, if that was a background had something in the background, I could cover it up and make sure I don't have any. So, and I think his legs should have been back further. Now that I keep looking at this, he looks a little funny now. But so I don't really like the legs there. So I'm gonna try a little something here. Painting on wood is kind of, let's see here, I can use just a little wet and kind of get that out of the, there we go, see there, I can get that out of there if I don't like it. So yeah, there's a little yellow there, but we'll fix that later. All right, so let's come in here. I'm gonna fix that because I had that, but there's going to be a branch there, you watch. And I may wait on them feetsies until I figure out my branch, because if I want my branch to go up this way, I don't want it to go oops, because I don't know how many limbs I want. I don't know if I want limbs coming up here. Anyway, let's kind of come in here, and I'm going to add a little water to that just to make that just a little more. And I'm just going to make sure my hand's out of the way. Kind of make a little peak there. And I'm just going to come in here and make that look like he's got little tufts of hair coming, or tufts of feathers, not hairs really. And then I can kind of come up and just make it a little bit more. I like that. Yeah. There we go. And now let's figure out, and you know, the sad thing is I don't have a picture up here that I'm looking at. I'm freehanding and I'm doing all of this in my head, and you can probably guess. I don't have a picture here to go off of. So I'm going off of kind of memory of what my cardinals look like outside. It may, like I said, a lot of this we can adjust as we go. We just don't know yet how much I want. Hopefully it's not glaring on you too much there. Is it showing a glare? No, that's more of a glare. These lights in here. I'll try to zoom in a little when I edit. Maybe that'll take the glare off, I hope. So, all right, that's my black. And now for my eye, usually cardinals' eyes are black, and they got a little something. So I'm just going to take a little bit of white for now and just kind of put that there, just so I see about where the eye is going to be. Now we got to come up with the beak. So I'm going to go into that orange. I'm going to add just a touch of water, so it flows a little better. And then I'm going to, and how I like to make my beaks is I kind of come in here and I make a diamond almost. See that? Like a diamond. And then now, well, I probably have to come back on this black because it's still wet. And then I kind of just make a little point there. It's almost like I made a elongated diamond. See that? Look at there. I think that looks pretty good, if you can see it. How's that look? That look pretty good? All right. And we'll doctor that up again later. Like I said, right now we're just trying to get the base in there. Okay, I'm going to go to a little bit smaller flat brush, number 4. Now we know we want the light, and I think I want the light to come. I think I want the light to come from this way. So I think I'm going to start out dark down here. So I'm going to go in a little bit of black, a little bit of that alizarin crimson, a little more alizarin crimson, and then just kind of down here. I'm going to just kind of make this dark. And my paint is still wet. That's one thing about wood is it'll soak into a certain extent, but it seems like it stays on the wet side a little longer, which is kind of nice. It's kind of like oils. See, and you can kind of flick here, and see I'm just kind of coming around, but it's given the illusion of little feathers there, or little feathers. Yeah, little tufts of feathers coming out. It's not real smooth. And then I'm just going to kind of play with that. Kind of come around here, kind of start blending some of that in. We'll have a lot more. And then kind of under here. Again, I'm not messing with this tail too much because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think my branch is going to kind of come here, and I think it's going to go over the tail. So the tail is going to be by the branch. So I think another branch is going to come this way and this way, just to kind of make it more aesthetically pleasing. And then kind of come here. And as we blend, we'll make that kind of where it looks like a little wing there. But look at that so far. Isn't that kind of a neat little, again, can you see it there? That looks really, really good. So I wish these lights here were a little bit better, but they're not. So, all right, now I'm going to kind of go to my light side here. So I know the sun's, or the light, whether it's sun or not, I'm going to go right into that orange, cadmium orange, and I'm going to put, and I know you're going to look at that and go, whoa, he's a little orange. Don't worry, we'll fix him here in a minute. I just kind of want to see. I always like to go, it's kind of like smaller to bigger. I always like to go a little bit lighter than what I think I'm going to finish, or a little different color, because I really don't know what I want. And again, I'm not looking at a picture. There's no picture next to me. There's no picture outside the camera. I'm doing this by just complete. What does a cardinal look like? What's the cardinals outside that's eating right now on this Sunday morning look like? All right, I like that. All right, so I want my cardinal to be a little bit more. See how that kind of blended in? It almost made this like cadmium red that I have here, that I was showing you on here. So let's put that in. Yeah, see, that's almost the same color. And I can just keep putting that in. There we go, I like that. And then I'm just kind of, and see, I'm just, here, let me come back on that so you can see, so my hand's not completely in the way. But see how, and then I just come around. It's, you know, we were talking about it when we did the sunflowers, about to make something look three-dimensional, you know, like or round, like a tree. We have a dark side, a medium, and a light side, and that kind of gives it that curve. Well, it's the same thing when we're looking at a bird or an animal. We want those three different colors, or three different tones, I should say. It's kind of looking like little hairs sticking up on him and feathers now, just because it's the paint is following that, following the wood grain and trying to get out of there. But I'm just going to go in, same old dirty brush with that orange, that cadmium red, and I'm just going to kind of come down here. I want to darken this just a little bit more, just to give him a little more dimension, because when we start putting that, and we're going to move pretty quick here in just a second. This painting does not take long, and we're doing it right on wood. Okay, I like that. We'll come back up in here, start lightening this a little bit. I'm really starting to like that color, because I can blend it so nice. Then I'm going to come in here, follow this, follow this. And, oh, anyway, you're probably asking, why are you going to do that on a board? Well, I got several of them, and I don't know if I told you earlier. Coming up here in a couple of months, we're doing an art, or a craft fair, I'm sorry, and it's actually in November, in a town just down the road from us, and I'm going to sell those there, and I don't quite know what I'm going to sell them for, a couple dollars, $5, I don't know. I'll figure that out, but that's why I'm painting some of those. And then underneath here, or above, you could put like family or welcome, and you can stencil that on, or I may stencil it, I don't know, but for now, this is just going to be a single cardinal. Now I'm going to go back to my little round brush. I'm going to play with the beak a little bit. I like the orange, but I think I want to add a little bit of that yellow. And just kind of, I've seen my cardinals here. They'll have kind of a almost same color as their fur, or their feathers. Some of them will be really orange, but I'm just going to kind of put a little of that yellow in for now. And the main reason is just, it's a little wet still there, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I'll just be making mud if I don't, but I could go in to that black and kind of start, I'm going to pull that a little bit just so it looks like there's some tufts of feathers sticking out there, and maybe come up here just a little bit. There we go. And then I can start shaping that a little bit. And then, you know, we have that eyeball there. So I'm going to mix just a little black, a little bit of white. I'm going to make a kind of a gray on the, and then just kind of put it in there. And then maybe just down here. I don't know. Still got my paint still a little bit wet there, so I think I'm just going to leave it for now. I can always come back in, kind of round that over. Kind of come down here a little bit. I kind of like that. I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. Okay. For now, let it dry a little bit. I think I'm going to use that same old round brush, and I'm going to start coming in here. And just kind of putting this in here. Ooh, God, I didn't like that. Oh well, can fix it. See, I'll just bring it out here while it's still wet. That's one thing I like about this on this board painting, because it seems like it stays wet a lot longer. I mean, on a canvas, I think it would have soaked in the paint and been dry in just a few minutes. And then it just kind of blends. See, it's still wet down there, and I can just kind of blend it, just like I'm doing an oil almost. And again, I'm not going to do much with the tail, because I just don't know yet. I'm going to take just a touch of white in with that. Just ever so lightly. Let's see. Just like light is hitting just on the back side of him, just a little bit. And then I'm going to show you a little something here in just a second. Whoa. See, there's a little piece of grain of the wood, and the paint just followed it. Dadgummit. Well. Alright, so let me clean that round brush out. Go back to my flat brush. I'm going to take a little bit of black over here, maybe a little bit of this orange. And then I'm going to go whoosh, whoosh. A little bit more. Whoosh. Do a little bit more there. Just kind of into nothing. Now, what we're going to do is then we're going to take a little bit of this and kind of come around. I'm going to leave that just a little bit in there. Bring that around. Start blending it in. And here. So it's got a little bit of that red out there. And then here. Still blending. Just blending it together. Look at that. I like that. See, now, look at that. I don't know if you can see that real well, but do you see how it looks like feathers there? Gives the illusion of feathers. I really like it. So, I think I'm just going to keep that just like that. I'm going to put this in. And a lot of and I know a lot of the question is, you know, it just looks so orange. It needs, remember, we're dealing in acrylic, so they're going to dry a little bit dark. So right now, I'm just putting them on a little bit lighter than what I kind of anticipate, and leaving it. Now, if you ask me, I think my cardinal needs to be a little bit fatter. I know you guys may disagree with me, but remember, my world. So I'm going to make mine just a little, and I'm just using black. Just touch more. I want a big fat cardinal. He's been eating well. That's a testament to all the food we went through. There, I like that. Now I can come back in here to start. And I use that same orange because I know in this black it's really gonna just blend. Wait till we get the snow in it. It's gonna be awesome. I know I went right into that dirty, or into that orange, but I had just, I'm not too worried about that. There's going to be a limb there, so if I have to doctor it up, I can. And yeah, I see what you're saying. It's kind of needs to be like that. And again, the cardinal's getting bigger, but the tail's not. But I don't want to do a lot with the tail yet because I don't know. where I want it to end on the limbs. So sometimes it's better just to. I know a lot of you guys out there that deal in wildlife are probably, and do this all the time, are probably like, oh, this is horrible. But I'm hoping that in the end you'll go, oh, because again, we're not trying to win a contest. We're not trying to do like paint a duck or something and have our painting on a duck stamp. We're trying to learn to paint. And see how I'm just kind of streaking as I go, giving kind of the illusion that there's some feathers in there. Again, not too worried about the tail. Kind of blend that in a little bit more. And I think I'm going to leave that. I like that. I really do. Eyeball and the beak we'll deal with in a little bit. Let's go. And I'm going to go into the ivory black, a little bit of brown, and I put a little water in there to kind of, and the reason I'm doing that is just, I wouldn't do it so much on a canvas, but it's just so rough. I'm afraid that when I'm trying to make a limb, I want it to be about one piece. All right, now we said we're going to make it here. So let's just come here. See how quickly the paint is just gone out of your brush. We'll come here, just like that. And then we'll kind of go up here. And again, there might be, I'm sure there's several of you that might paint on wood and probably tell me that I didn't do something right. I should have done this, and you know what? You're absolutely right. I am not a painter on wood. I just wanted to do something different. We paint all the time on canvas and other things. I want to make that look. There we go. I like that. And I know you're probably looking like, dang, that's a big branch. But I kind of want this one to be a bigger branch because I got other things I want to put some other limbs on it. And, a little more water here. You can just see that it's. Bring this up just a little bit so I can see it better. It's got that awful. See, and I wish I could just do it in one stroke, almost like you can on a canvas, but it's a little bit tougher on here. And another reason I'm making this a little bit bigger is because it's such a big board that I want to take up some space. I don't want just this little cardinal, got a hair there. I don't want this little cardinal being the only thing out there and just hanging. So if I use a bigger tree, it'll kind of, and like I said, right now we're I think I want one here, and I'm just putting it in there. I'll probably use a different brush here in a minute. No, I'll use a bigger brush here in a minute. I'm just wanting to get that. Let's see. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And then again, we will doctor it up in a minute. Okay. Main thing is trying to get coverage on this and make it look halfway like a tree limb. You guys may think, yeah, it doesn't look much like a tree limb to me, but let's see here. Let's just go like that. There'd be another one And we don't have anything here, so let's kind of make this one. Whoa, need a little more white, a little more water. And then maybe here, this one will go off this way when we're ready for it. It'll kind of come here. It's kind of a gnarled looking, and it'll kind of go that way. And then this one will kind of go off that way. All right. And then maybe, well, we'll doctor that up a little bit more. All right. So I do want his tail to come down a little bit further, but really not a lot. I mean, I know it's a lot oranger looking down there, or more orangish looking, but I just see I can kind of just not quite sure. I know that I want to make it bigger up here. I just hadn't done that yet. And let's put a little. Now see how that's going to swoosh and down and swoosh. And then even a little bit bigger. I know. I've gone crazy, but I just like the big old cardinals. They just look like they've been well taken care of. Just down around there. And then maybe here, this way. Trying to get that one. And we'll play with it a little bit more here in a minute. But again, I guess another reason I don't want this big, long, well, I shouldn't say this big, long tail. I don't want a lot of detail, no pun intended there, in my tail, because I want it to just kind of blend away. I want your eye to be drawn more here. And then we're going to put some snow in here. It's really going to look, I can't wait for the snow. All right, I think I am going to go over and find, wish I knew what I did with it. Oh, anyway, instead of a liner brush, a script liner brush, I'm going to use this. I've heard it called the dagger, a dagger brush, which right there it says dagger. And some people call it some different names, but I really like it. I've made grass with it, and I'm going to make, whether it turns out or not, tree limbs with it. Usually I use my little script liner brush, and I'm going to kind of come up here and just kind of like that. Got a little bit there because I had a little too much water on. Make it a little fatter because I want this limb to be fatter, but this is I like it. It's not the brush's fault. I put too much water in my. If I may, I don't use this enough. To really play with it and see what it can do. I've done grasses with it. I really like that, but I don't know if I care much for it on branches, because I like to zigzag, and I'll get my script liner brush and show you what I mean. And like I said, there's probably a lot of people out there that use this and can do tree branches and things. I just wanted to play with it just to see, and it's not doing too bad. I feel like I have more control when I use a script liner brush, but this I really like when for doing grasses. I just think it's neat, and I may be putting too much pressure on this brush. And I didn't mean that in a psychological way. Like, gosh, I put too much pressure on you to perform, brush. I'm sorry. All right, I'm just gonna that, and then again, and I don't want a lot, or I don't want an overabundance of branches either, because I don't want it to take away from the painting. All right, that's enough with it. With that brush, I'm going to find my script liner brush if I can remember what I've done with it. You ever put them in a place that you'll never, ever, ever lose them, and then you lose them? Well. I will have to see what I've done with it. Guess I'm going to use a smaller one, because I think I took and cleaned my script liner brush and I put it somewhere else to dry. Aha! I found it. I did. I went and cleaned it, and I laid it over with some other stuff and didn't bring it back. There's my script liner brush. So I'm just going to go with some of that black and brown and make me some. See what we got. That may not be quite wet enough, but, and then I'm going to kind of come in here. Oop, yep, not near enough. Seems like even, I get it really inky on canvas, but darn, on this board it really needs to be inky. And then we'll just kind of go off there, something like that. Down there. Fix that up a little bit. We'll make this one just a little wider coming in. And maybe one coming off this way here. And maybe one here. Here. See what I mean by I can come in here and I can kind of twist, lift up, twist, kind of come down, kind of twist and like that. Then over here, oh yeah, I had that one, and I'm going to just kind of put it like going right through the cardinal there. And then one here, coming up, because he's kind of setting in there. Now you see the feet, that's why I didn't, because I just didn't know, I don't want a lot of branches on it, but I also want it to look natural, something like that. Do one down here, maybe over here, and here, one coming off here, going out that way. I had a big cluster here because this is kind of where I got little bit bigger branch coming like that. There we go. Not like that. And then maybe one here that kind of got broke off a little bit. There. There. And this one kind of comes down by himself. He needs some help. And then maybe one just like that. He just kind of comes out there and breaks off, I think. All right. I think we're going to call that kind of done on the branches. This one here kind of is a little too stubby. I'm going to bring him out just a little bit more, and then maybe just one that just kind of lays out here. I think because that crook there where the wood mat just kind of makes it. There we go. I think I'm just going to leave that. I like that. I like that. All right, then we need our eye up here for our cardinal. There we go. And then I'm just going to put just a touch. Not a lot, because there'll be snow on here. All right, we wanted to come back in here. I don't know why I'm using my script liner brush for this, but I got it on here, so. Okay, so got that. Not kind of like that, but of course we need to kind of come down here, just underneath. So his mouth is kind of right there. Oh, gone. It's hard to get good definement because of the wood. Then come down, kind of take some of that out. There we go. Like I said, again, I'm trying to get that to a point, kind of a curve and a point. It's kind of hard because it wants to follow the wood grain. Yee. I don't like that. So I think I'm just gonna doctor it a little bit there and call that done for the beak, just so we don't nope. It's just, boy, every time I try to touch it up just a little more, it wants to like follow the the grain of the wood, and then it comes out of whack a little bit on me. I think we're just gonna okay, and then I'll doctor that up here a little bit with the black. Yeah, I know what you guys are saying. Should have just left it alone. Yeah, I should have. There we go. I think I'm gonna, all right, I'm gonna go back to my little round brush. Now we still got a lot of wet in here, so I'm just gonna kind of come in here with a little bit of brown. You got the black. I don't want a lot of detail in the tree, because one, I don't want to take away from the cardinal by people's eyes being drawn more to a tree branch. It has a lot of detail, and we're going to be putting some snow on it. So it'll probably cover a lot of it up anyway. Then we're going to have snow flying. So we definitely don't want to spend all of our time just doing a... And this is something you can do at home, do on your own if you got some scrap wood. If you got an old flower pot like, or flower box like I had, you want like, hey, what am I going to do with that? Just make you some wood board canvases, and you can stencil on it. You can do whatever you want. Got a little bit of white in there. I don't like too much white. There we go. I like that. All right. And a little faded out. A little too much on me. I want a little bit more black in there. There we go. And again, I don't want, you can't hardly see an eye on a cardinal. You know, if I was there, that's good enough. Good enough. Because we want some snow in here. All right, how are we doing here? What do we got on time? Like 14 minutes? That's not bad at all. All right, let's go ahead, and I know this is still wet, but I'm going to take that round brush, and I'm just going to kind of come in here on top of my tree limbs, and kind of careful too much, because what'll end up happening is you'll get kind of a gray snow because the black's still wet. The black and brown, I guess, kind of mixed them. It's not just pure black. And then, see how I've got some snow here? That's exactly why I said, you know what, I'm going to hold off on the legs, because it may not even be worth it. But I think I'll put like his little feetsies there a little bit. Here in just a minute. Right now I'm just kind of putting, kind of where I think snow would gather. Something like that. This is kind of where I think the snow, and I'm just kind of dabbing on. I'm trying not to get down into the branch paint, or at least try to stay out as little as I can, just because I don't want to turn this brown. Okay, there might be a little bit of, it kind of fell in there, a little bit down in here. And, you know, you don't have to do it all over the branches, because, you know, the wind will blow out here and it'll knock a lot of this little stuff off, or on the small low branches. So let's just put a little bit here. This, yeah, and you know, you can get carried away with this, because it really, you know, you start going, oh, that looks good, and then next thing you know, you get so much, you're like, uh-oh, now we had a blizzard, because it took. There we go, a little pile of snow right there, and you can kind of come back over it if you want. Whoa, that hit in exactly the right spot. Oh, that could have been bad. Just kind of coming down along here. And if you don't want, you know, much snow on yours, you don't have to. Or if you just want some like little patches here and there, you can. I'm just kind of just laying some in there. You remember where I kind of messed up with that dagger brush right there? See, I can kind of fix that just a little bit. Kind of had a little pile there. Oh well, we had a big pile that landed right there. We're just going. All right, let's go just. And again, I don't want to do too much because I'm going to put some snow in here. Let's see, I think it's probably pretty good. I'm going to put a little bit. Kind of come up in here and just kind of, there we go. I think I'm just going to leave that just like that. Okay, and then what was that little brush that I used for the feetsy the first time? So in that, kind of what we made over here, and we kind of made us a, oops, that's not what I want. But I do think I want to come in here and just highlight that just a little bit more, maybe just a little lighter on top. And again, I know there's several of you out there that probably paint these all the time, and you're going to tell me that that is not what a cardinal's beak looks like. And you're absolutely 100% right. Again, I'm trying to go from memory. Also, sometimes I change it. You change the color just a little bit more, just to make it a little more pleasing in one way or the other. I'm kind of using that beak, a little color on around the eye, just because the white I had around there, the gray, just stood out too much. There we go. I like that. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh, a little brown, a little yellow, like our ochre. A little more yellow. I want it more on the yellow side. Maybe we can kind of just maybe I just kind of want to make it look like they're setting in there, but not too much, because I really don't want. All right, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to highlight that just a little bit more. I know I said I was going to stop piddling with this beak, but there. But I wanted just a little highlight on it. Ooh, there I go again. You can tell I'm used to working on an easel. I wish. And I probably should have with this too, but just was trying to get a little whoosh there with a little bit of light hitting on top. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Let's go into, and you see here's all we're using. Oops. Okay, what do we have? 21 minutes. This one's kind of seen its better days, but I took all the rest of them with me to art class. I got a bunch of them. So I guess we're going to do it with this thing. So I got a little water. I got that gesso. Remember, I told you I like that gesso for this. And then I just keep coming in here until it's really slurry. And then I'm going to come up here and flick. But I think I want more on there than that. Like I said, this is just, I start out small with a little bit, because if you get a big old glob on there, it may not look real good. See, I had a big glob fall. That's why I'm glad that. Oops. And again, like, I don't want, I'm covering, I'm putting snow on it, but again, I don't want it too snowy. So I don't want to take away from the picture. I think this toothbrush has seen its better days. I think this is going to be its last painting, and then it'll retire to probably the trash after this. Yeah, that's just not working very well. I wonder if I could, maybe I'll take my try my filbert brush. This may be bad. It's really fine, but which is okay, because but see, this is how we do snow. I want a little more snow up top. That's what I want. I hear the snow hitting. It's just really fine, that's okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit more up in here. See, I'm just going to get close because I want that snow to be a little more here, so it kind of draws the eye in. See, a little bit in the corners like that. It kind of will draw the eye in to the painting a little bit more. If I do it up in it. There we go. I like that. I like that. All right, now I think the only thing left to do is some of this. And you know what? Let's make kind of a color here. I don't know what color that is. Kind of a, hopefully it may not be thick enough. And probably should just use my paint pen that I usually use, but we're right here. I'm going to kind of come right here. Let's go. Yeah. Boy, that's hard to do. That is almost impossible. It just wants to blend or just take the path of, well, like I said, some of you guys may do this all the time and be really good at it. Not me. Okay, we'll just call that done. All right, well, I think that is a pretty good little painting that took us, let me look at my clock on there, 26 minutes. 26 minutes. I think we could have done it even a little quicker, but, you know, we took some little breaks to find a couple of brushes, fix some stuff. All right, I think we're going to call that a day. And I hope you all enjoyed it. If you like these kind of things, click subscribe, hit that like button, get more. Like I said, I'm going to start painting a lot more of these. Hopefully start getting these online at least once every couple of weeks. I know once a month when we do our painting we will, but I'm hoping to do even more and more. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up, try it, paint along. Like I said, it's just on a board, as you see, just some old scrap wood that I had. And I think that'll make a nice little gift for somebody at the craft fair. Anyway, thanks for coming with us today on this journey, and Hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.